Let's pack your bags, let's sail away to the land of opportunity. Richard Hart has changed the game. He raised the bar, now DeFi will never be the same. I'm with the captain and we're making it happen. No one's ever stopping this community. We got the fire, we got the flame, and no one ever's gonna stand in our way. The haters are gonna hate as the cruise ship pulls away. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go down to Mexico. We're crashing all the parties and we're driving Maseratis. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go down to Mexico. Road paved with gold, truth be told, we're changing lives. Hex 55, 55, stake that hex to stay alive. The captain chilling with the black sheep, we rapping and packing our bags. We're blessed to wake up every day, cause we're on the Pulsechain. I'm with the captain and we're making it happen. No one's ever stopping this community. We got the fire, we got the flame, and no one ever's gonna stand in our way. In Mexico, the haters are gonna hate as the cruise ship pulls away. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go down to Mexico. We're crashing all the parties and we're driving Maseratis. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go down to Mexico. Had to join cause you couldn't beat us. Now you got financial freedom. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go down to Mexico. And the beat has gonna bang and we're all gonna be rich. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go down to Mexico.
What's up, DJs? Happy Friday. We got a packed house today. We got a special guest with us. And welcome, Jay. Everything Tin Top. Yeah, we got Krypto Koolaid in the house.
What's going on, guys?
What's up? How you doing?
I like the intro. I like the intro. To layer it in some more, put the clock on the very bottom, so that way you have a timer ticker going, and actually like gels in like the whole experience to being like,
right?
Oh,
yeah, I know.
All the rest of that.
Yeah.
But then
no, I actually thought about that.
Well,
That's
yeah,
a good idea.
It's not just a user experience, but it's how you message and project what's going on. So like, oh, the sound's coming on. I got 2.5 minutes there. Let me go grab a beverage,
That's
popcorn,
a good idea.
whatever I'm going to do. And that way you're subtly messaging the entire complete experience. But I like it.
It's good stuff, man.
We know the lyrics of the song, so I know how much time. Like, go get me a water, go outside real quick.
Give for where it says Koolaid is the other half of my brain.
Actually, the GIF is the only one that can understand me fluently and explain it simply. So technically, I need him more than he needs me. But yes, we are the other end of the coin, and it's pretty wild us doing what we do together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to send it to Zilla right now, actually. Can we get a timer?
Yeah. Actually, you know what?
I mean, if you want, you just send me that movie and I'll just do it for you. Or if I find animated one. But yeah, if he knows how to do the stuff, he just have a simple timer, count down from the very top, add in seconds. Ding, ding, ding.
That's good shit. Yeah. Thanks,
but it's
man.
all about how your message is perceived. What do people understand what's going on? And what do they take away from that? Because when you just trigger a song, most people do the loopable animated song with something that just goes in, 60 seconds, whatever.
Right.
But with this, it's a whole song, an experience, a story, a couple different loopable, scene etymology. And then you're like, oh, I still got some time. This is cool. Do I want to watch the whole thing? And now I'm using this as a trigger to go do other things. It's a reflective-based system.
We got a big brain in the house. I love it.
I don't know about that.
Drink more of that. Oh my God!
Hell
What's
yeah,
up,
man.
Veritas? How you doing, man?
Hey, so you gonna break down what S-Bull is for us, or like?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you explain to us?
Yeah, E&J drug you in here.
Yeah, I'm not really quite, saying, because I seen S-Bull. I said I could trade LUSD and get double price on S-Bull, so I did that, and then I didn't really know what I was doing, and then I was like, okay, now I'm just here.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing, but for you to understand anything without just trying to get a cliff note, and a cliff note will take you to the top of the cliff, but you didn't know how to get down. You're stuck because you didn't understand what you needed to do to level up that experience. So everything that the GIF has been envisioning, and we've got a fantastic core team of really, really good Venn diagram people, pedigree of experience, but we come from the ideas of like the pillars. So we started with no leaky boat. Well, what does that mean? Well, let's take a simple example. If you're holding USDC, are you still getting inflated by the same price of $1? Oh yeah, you are. You're just labeling something within a metric ratioed value that you already say sucks because you went to crypto, right? Escaping the dirty dollar, but you're stabling in USDC and don't see that it's still inflating. So looking at those binded ratios is where you identify no leaky boat. And then the GIF came up with permeable tokenomics. And it comes through many different measures, because when we started this journey, we were looking at small components that we were going to use to build Pulsar. And then we went down to other different pillars that we drive into. And the first big one is creation, not inflation. Now, if you look at the leaky boat of inflation, like I just explained, or you look at people that want yield fast, or they want to stake for something, what are you actually inflating? What are you getting from that besides a feel-good pat on the back? You have more units, but it's being devalued, just like stabling out in USDC. So with creation, not inflation, you're creating something with economic value that goes in. So if you look at Bitcoin, it's technically proof of power, right? You still have to have pools, all the powers have to go in, hash gets more complicated, and because of that, you need more power. Now, Ethereum was proof of programming off of that, but it still was proof of work. So you still had to have that power to create that EVM calculations. And with that, the more calculations, you need more fuel or gas if you want to take power now into a different direction, because it needs calculations and cycles to put things into a block and do more work. You can go all the way to Pulse as being a sister of Ethereum when we both went to proof of stake and how those bonded ratios go together. Okay. And all of that comes down to how mechanics work together. So with creation, not inflation, you're taking that economic energy of the asset and you're binding it to create that new asset. And by doing that, here, let me drop you, I can bring up a couple flow graphs. Have you seen any of the flow graphs? Like this stuff is...
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to share your screen, you can.
Let me see what I have that's publicly accessible to do. Just
right.
I can yammer while I try to bring up a flow graph. It's just easier to see when you can actually look at something and follow along.
Yeah, we're visual learners around here.
Yeah.
I can do the silly stuff out of my head. So, but I can't do math. That's where the GIF gets to laugh at me when I do math. But I see in spatial pictures. He's surgical. I'm spatial. So
what's up, Cookies?
Let me find this here. We can continue to talk on that. So economic energy in, economic energy in. Think about like alchemy. And you're using that to create something. But the benefit is the asset you first started with goes to the debt address. We can get into why we did it that way. But that already is deleting something from existence, or buy and burn. Your purchasing power and your economic ruins or coin or whatever reference that you're doing is binding onto something to create something, but all of that now gets deleted. Now you've got this other underlying asset, and 85% of that economic energy that went in to create that asset gets buy and burned. So we'll show that on a graph real quick. And what I don't want to start with S-Bull, because there's so many iterations. So another pillar that we have is simulation, not speculation. We are running in constant tests in real time. We've been saying this from the very beginning. And the reason that you do that is we're building brand new, fresh code fresh experiences, fresh ideals, to take all that's been done before, rip it apart, examine it, and then try to reassemble it a different way. Because everyone keeps doing the same things over and over, which tends to have the same bad results, because now you're competing with something that isn't innovating. And I'm almost there. Sorry.
Big Bear Crypto says, Kool-Aid in the house. New sub game today, guys. Cheers. Thank you, Big Bear. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Ali Kane says, who the fuck? Ali Kane says, who the fuck let Kool-Aid on?
Kool-Aid can appear wherever he wants. Kool-Aid on aisle 3.
Kool-Aid. Put your hashtag in for the day. We'll do our first giveaway in 5 minutes.
I love it.
Okay, go ahead and get the first giveaway. Let me get some stuff up because I wasn't really prepared to share. But it probably I should have. But the damn camera broke at the very last second anyways.
Too cool. I think that just about does it.
I could delete out there the new. I see a bunch of new names.
Is today's magic word not coming through, guys?
I didn't think it would. I told you that earlier. I'm like, oh, I said no.
Yeah, I don't think that magic word's coming through somehow.
Okay.
I don't see it anywhere.
You know, that's why it's magic. It vanishes just like that.
Yeah.
You need Pee Wee Herman to scream into a chair and then it'll appear. But yeah.
Ali Kane, you need to come up here again soon as well, my good sir. Come give us an update about what's going on with Pulse Wars.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there we go. No, the noob managed to get it. There we go.
Grab him by the pussy. Oh,
there we
shit.
go. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta put it's 3 S's, guys, to get past the filter. 3 S's.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
See, the noob spotted that. Good job, bro. Yep.
I try to tame him a little bit, but it don't work.
Well, I mean, you just have to start at the taint and work in either direction.
Right.
All right.
Am I shocked that it's getting filtered out? No.
Not when everybody was spelling it with
I'm
2
shocked that
S's.
this channel is still running 1,334 days in a row.
And we've been unmonetized a lot.
You know what's going on, Zenith? And I was saying Ali is
it was
awesome
maybe it was
Ali's
maybe
what?
one day that Sheep managed to get the monetization on the channel, and then I think we managed to keep going for 3 days with all conditions met to maintain monetization. Day 4 comes along, Shane joins the stream, and I'm just like, righto, there goes the monetization out the window.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hey,
I
we should have a
definitely
fun
do that on
counter.
command. I am definitely not the person you bring in a PC land. I mean, I was a retired truck driver for 2.5 years, right? Hurricane Katrina in a semi truck. Like, I don't give a fuck. So I tend to autopilot that way, even though I try to be respectful. All right. Do you want me to go share some stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
Just request it down there at the bottom.
Oh Lord, I know what I'm doing. Sure.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, where did you run off to now? All my tech is angry with me today. I done.
Nice wallpaper there.
I mean, I like the darker things. Like I said, my senior film was about what would happen to the Hiroshima shadows that got nuked into the wall, came back to life, and what that experience would be. And I built that in Unreal 3 in 2011 was when I actually shipped that. Got a bunch of awards. But I like the darker side of life, even though I'm usually pretty pleasant. So we have to look at how systems work, right? To understand that, you have to look at the cogs, the wheels, and everything else. What worth is a single wheel when the wheel was invented with caveman knocking it down? It was useless. You need to have 2 wheels to make a sled, 3 wheels to almost get somewhere, or 4 wheels to make a cart that's balanced equilaterally. So just having one idea of how something works, or even calling it a flywheel, not really digesting what's really going on. So you're going to take your primary token. This is where we started. We can get up to S-Bull and all the rest of it, but that gets more complex. Why jump to the complex stuff when we're still trying to suss out the beginning? So when we started GIF was launched as a meme token as an experiment. I didn't even know he was doing it. And by the time I actually was able to do funds and all the rest of it, it was like 8 days later. And I didn't even know this is the primary strike. We simulate in real time and we pivot in real time. We did no sacrifices, no fundraising, all out of our own pockets and minds. And we did that because we believed in multiple different variables and how you can do things better and how do you combine all those things together. So this is your alchemy right here in just GIF. You're bringing just your pulse and just your GIF, making the alchemy happen. And this was our first, again, experiment on what happened. Turned out to go absolutely wackadoodle. We were not expecting that, but that's why each component must be addressed individually to understand a deeper component. So 10 native pulse represents a 1 GIF to a 1 perma-GIF ratio. And the reason that he did that, he was like, okay, a 10x seems to be a good ceiling, right? Based on the price of pulse and all the rest of that. But it started at 1 pulse to 1 GIF, right? That's when everything started. That was the ideal and the plan for everything to go forward. So that's where we use 10 as the narrative. And so 100% of the GIF that comes in, this little buddy right here, boop, 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 automatically goes to the dead address, or what most people could call just the black hole. It can never, it's a smart contract you can never get access to again. So theoretically it's dead, but also technically it counts towards market cap, because how can we see something like that is we can come over here to, what is it, Go Pulse, and we type GIF. And lo and behold, 25% of the entire supply is deleted. The reason you can capture that is because it's in the dead address, right?
Okay.
Now, this is GIF OA stuff. This is just a container that we were seeing to suss out what something would do, how it will work, because all of these numbers are very nominal, and you think that there's only 1 billion GIF that has ever been created. Ding, ding, ding. And it launched as a meme coin that we didn't even talk about for weeks. We were talking about Pulsar, because this was our sus to build up to the next tier, the next level, getting more wheels on your cart. And so from here, every GIF that you combine, like alchemy, or your regiets or your components, gets sent to the dead address. Now, 10% of the economic energy, right, the power, goes into the creation of the P-GIF. And so the perma-GIF automatically gets minted right after you do this, and 90% of this economic energy goes to the buy and burn, or the permabull. And that's where we started with a lot of our pillars, is what is this permabull do? What is its features? What are its clauses? What are its ideals that it acts on? And so what this thing can only do with all that 90% of economic energy is permanently delete GIF from the market, because GIF is a deletable token. That's why we started with the meme token. Not anything that's been built before is a destroyable token. So how can you reference it if you're destroying it on the front side if you want that burn ratio? Yeah, you could calculate circulating supply and how it started and maths. Now, it's just easier to have a place where you can understand that, right? And of course, the clauses, this is a simulation. It says it absolutely anywhere. Initial setting can be to 0. But most importantly, when people think of buy and burn, they're thinking the savior of all. It's going to be the Jesus that's going to forgive everything. That's not how these things work. By actually interacting with the contract, creation, not inflation, has actually given you more power than anything else, because you've removed that circulating supply. But you have something that's been bound with economic value, that the only thing that it can ever be done is be deleted by the permabull. Do you have any questions there before we move on?
Okay, 90% goes there. Where's the other 10% go?
Right here is a GIF OA. It was just a container. But if you actually look at, there's only 1 billion GIF or P-GIF that could ever exist at the same time, right? Because P-GIF can only be created by GIF, and by creating P-GIF, the GIF gets sent to the dead address. That's why you can see, oh Lord, where'd you go? Come on back. Did I close it? Boo, I'll bring it back. Go Pulse. And let's just do GIF for easy. So there was only 1 billion GIF ever created, and 25% is deleted, right? It's in the dead address.
No play, yeah, out of play.
Right? And then if we look at the other side on P-GIF, was it even going to say circulating supply? We'd have to look on contract and all the rest of that. I don't feel like doing that in real time. Liquidity supply of 235 million. Okay, yeah, that works right there. So again, I didn't want to math, but apparently that was what did I say, 245 before? Guys still there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, I got to kind of go in a little close on my screen.
Oh, you're good. I'm just trying to get something to actually give you real-time metrics. Because the real stuff is what I want to explain to you. But if you're not getting the pillars and we're worried about the little minutia, you're missing out on the whole kit and caboodle of why this
What do
is
you think,
magical.
Donnie?
There we
Sorry,
go.
I was muted.
Oh, you're good.
You
Right. So you can see
input,
here, there's a billion supply, right, of GIF. Yeah. And we see that 25%, so 248 million GIF is sent to the dead address. It's gone, right? Come back to this.
Out of play.
Yeah, it's out of play, right? You're in the penalty zone forever. That means the creation aspect over here, 248 to 235.
Yeah.
It's done what, 13 million, completely deleted from existence, does not exist. This is really the difference between sending something to a dead address or buying and burning a token that you created. You put your economic energy into that to create it, and now it's being removed. So then we've got more pillars, right? If you used it, what does Richard say that the people who make the most money in crypto are?
Creators of a token.
Yeah, founders and holders.
Founders and holders. Now, if you want to use staking as a way to not cheat yourself out of something, sure. We can get into the term or reverse liquid staking later. But with our tools, if you use them correctly, you are a founder, not a holder, because you're using tools for the betterment and use case of things that you are building later, just like the example of wheels on a cart. So that was simulation 1. And then we went to simulation 2, which is what we did over at iBurn. What's really interesting about iBurn is we test a couple different things at the same time. Not only do we test the same economic energy, right? But we're doing eICOSA and pICOSA. Well, the other way around, or ICOSA native, if you want to be picky. But the question is those had different price differences. What if either of those, both cross-bridge or native bridge, could be alchemified to created into make iBurn? Again, each ICOSA, whether it's E or P, gets sent to the respective dead address. And then the container over here, right? That's why I said the GIF OA is irrelevant. But this is where it gets fun. 15% of that economic creation over here removes PGIF from existence. Now, as I was saying before, we're trying to run many simulations in real time. There is absolutely no need to be looking at this one right here, when in all actuality, the fun stuff happens when we get to SBOL and NOPE or stable.
Yeah, I said that.
Well, I mean, the thing is that now we've got a dynamic reflexive system to take the protocol fee or the energy that you need to do it, and it dynamically reflects the market conditions and what's going on with both the PLS and the token itself to keep a 2-to-1 ratio. Let's get to there. So at this point, 85%, exact same scenario. OA can do whatever it wants to. But if you didn't notice, we actually have a decentralized buy and burn on the iBurn contract, if anyone hasn't looked. So iBurn actually has the ability to call their buy and burn whenever they want. Because that simulation is interesting. We've touched parity between both of those tokens. We've done it cross-chain, and we've increased the ceiling price a bit. So what was interesting about this simulation is we used a little bit above a buffer of the ICOSA price for either of the ICOSAs, right? Does it make sense? So you're going to bring the cheaper ICOSA in to burn it more. What that does is it makes ICOSA more rare on the Ethereum side. Well, how do you make ICOSA? Well, you need to use the Hedron ICOSA system. And then from there, that could restart the auction house. That could restart the eHex flywheel. And it started to, pull the engines a little bit and rum. So very, very, very fascinating stuff. And then we have stable, right? Stable gets really more interesting because instead of a flat ratioed buy and burn contract for, the minting contract, right? The way that it's going to figure out what that protocol fee is the same thing else is by taking 25% of the protocol fee goes to PGIF, 75 goes to burn SBUL. But as the market conditions move in dynamic ranges, the protocol will leverage itself to make sure that that actually price is reflective. Whereas before it was static. We hadn't gotten to that part of the simulation in real time yet. So again, same scenario. PLUSD is minted. That's why you can. Come on back. So many windows. Oh, why does this thing keep running for me? I'll bring it again. Oh, Pulse.
Hey, big shout out to the Mo for help making this happen. Appreciate you, brother.
Mo is the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, normally, like I said, I was taking the weekend off, night off, all the rest of that stuff, and then I saw you over on the G-Gens, and I was like, I saw that face. Yeah, sure, I'll come say hello.
Right.
Again, my computer is very angry today. So go Pulse.
Is my mic working, ENJ?
Yeah, you're sounding good.
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
Okay, cool.
What are we doing? We're doing PLUSD, right? So same scenario. But 3.8% has already been bloody burned. At how many days old? A week? I time travel. I work way too much and around the clock, so I couldn't even a month. But that's easy way to say what's been burned, right? But what we can do, which is really fascinating, is go check out. Do it.
Yeah, we're looking at the USD burn like 3 days ago. It was like 2.57 or no, 2.52 or something like that. And we're thinking it's going to take like 14 days to burn off like 1 full percent. And you guys did it in like 3-4 days. It's crazy.
Well, it depends on how veracity the community is. How much passion do they want to learn the tools? How much do they want to understand it? How much are they just trying to cheat really fast but not know what they're doing? Right? It's kind of like driving down a one-way road drunk. That was probably your own fault. You know? One way, stop. Don't go that way. This way. Right? It's not the science fault. You didn't want to read it. But in fact, when I was a truck driver, I used the analogy RTFS. Read the fucking signs. Coming out of the trailer in the back of the sleeper and truck sitting next to a cornfield. I'm like, rookie, how do we get here? It's like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, I certainly didn't drive it. You had to have gotten off the big road and next to a cornfield. But if you read the actual use cases and learn it, and again, Mike Sellers, fantastic person to understand systemic design, because that's what I read the book from 18 years ago. So 336 billion is right here and created. Now, if, Lord, I hate doing these in real time. If you really want to get fancy, because I don't think people really understand how to do this stuff. And to be fair, and if you
welcome to stream, Tank Will.
Oh, what's going on, Will? How you doing?
Yeah.
Let's
PLSD is doing great with the SBUL protocol. Thanks, gift team. Shout out to the gift.
I don't even know which camera I'm on. One of these. Like I said, I was like running in fast and everything broke 7 minutes. And I'm like, of course it does. So if you want to really take a deep dive in what is going on, you can, and I screw this up horribly. So then we're going to go to contract. As we can see, there's the stuff at the top, and then we need buy and burn wallet address. So this is going to show your buy and burn what it's doing in real time, but it's sometimes easier. Yeah. Others. Hold on. Let me find. I brought this browser up because it has no history. Let me find. Should be. Anyone drop the Otterskin link in the top or in the chat somewhere?
Which one?
Otterskin?
Otterskin?
Oh, there we go. It shouldn't be. That's not correct. There we go. Oh, Lord, what do we got to do? I need this, buddy. Oh, it's going off my pinata.
Fun.
No rush. You got time. You got time. No rush.
Oh, I know. It's just always do it on the end. So when you're looking at, I believe this is the correct one. When you see mint, you see people actually creating the token. And we can go back to the real theosophy and how systems work rather than dealing with all the numbers and the pages and all the rest of that. Because at the end level, you can watch the videos that we've made. And GIF explains it's a hell of a lot better than I do. One of these things is going to be an execute somewhere. Or I could also be at the wrong page. Wouldn't surprise me. We'll figure it out.
So, do you have any? What's your opinion on the whole minting thing for LUSD?
I mean, I think it's fantastic because you look at the two different paradigms on what we were doing with. Here, I'll go stop sharing. I'll just leave the graph up because graphs are important.
No, I'm saying like people are like worried that they're gonna mint it to 0 and all that shit. Like what do you like?
Oh, I'm not getting involved in any of that drama. I don't know. I don't know. Like,
you know what? I said exactly the same thing before the stream. You know what? These guys were actually like in the Degen voice chat with me, right? They were saying, "Oh, you know, Donnie, this guy's like, you know, part of the LUSD thing. Like, these are LUSD people. You got to play nice."
Right.
So I don't exactly have the most favorable opinions about some of these things, but
here, let me break this down to you in like my phrasing or world. I work 20 hours a day making video games, sometimes through the weekend. When I worked at ZeniMax, we had 7 attorneys on retainer to deal with divorces. Game dev is not, you don't understand, game dev is not fun. You know what's worse? I may have to take a break and get some water here in a sec. But when you deal with someone that spends $50 on something and they think that they can tell you something that you sacrificed so much time to do, thinking that somehow I bought this and now you're an investor or an advisor or any of that. You're a consumer, right? You're a bloody consumer. You don't walk into Chipotle and pretend you're Gordon Ramsay. You brought your economic energy in. You had your burrito. You enjoyed it. And if you don't like it, please don't come back. You are not suddenly on the board of directors. So when it comes to drama, you can either fix things or you can make things worse. I'm on the positivity of fixing things because nothing else is going to resolve unless you actually resolve the question and the answer, not ask why. Why is great. Understand how. Give me a second to get some water. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay. Sounds good.
Wow.
Hey, you want to go ahead and give take it away real quick?
So what do you think, Donnie? You got any feedback?
Look, I got to be honest. A lot of these concepts that our friend Mr. Koolaid here is speaking of, I would simply say he's talking about some very basic principles of good tokenomics in very upper echelon metaphorical ways, I guess. Like what he's talking about is not the most difficult thing to achieve here. I think he's just explaining it at a very high level. You know?
Well, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't catch the end of that. I explain things at a high level because that's how I think and then walk backwards. Just like the fact that I can immediately tell you, you know what your intro needed? It needed a ticker on the bottom right? Because that actually like solved 5 different things at once. To just explain it like you're 5 doesn't mean you're thinking like you should be 5. You need to grow this knowledge base here. And I am not the person to explain it simply. I mean, hell, the GIF is the only person that can translate me fully. He actually speaks simply. Well, yeah.
But what I'm saying is I was able to understand what you're saying. And like I can see the graph that you were looking at here as well. And what I'm saying to others is that, look, what you're talking about here is not the most difficult thing in the world to achieve. This is good tokenomics. So in case it was confusing for anyone, you know, this is really, really simple, you know? Yeah.
Well, also you have to think about things in seasons, right? How long does it take to really do something? Let's just take babies, right? Crawl, maybe crawl and fall some more, walk, run. And now you're in a bloody car. And then for your entire life, that Venn diagram of how you needed someone to clean you up and pick you up and put you in a chair, to now you're driving a high-speed vehicle the wrong way on a one-way road, drunk, because you didn't want to RTFS, read the fucking signs. And you think you spend 3 minutes learning something. You're like, I got this, coach. And then you jump off a cliff without a parachute. You're like, Not idea, man. Not a good idea. So these systems not just only take time to mature, but there's so much more at play. And that's what people learn the more they grow and really dive into the knowledge and digest it like a designer, not as someone copying pasta code, not as someone that has a good idea. There's a lot of good ideas, but are they going to be successful? When you want to do things correctly, you have to look at what are your milestones, what are your goalposts, and how are you moving through them? The community, with whatever happened with the Trove or all the rest of it, again, drama, I don't care. It was a decentralized forked community that has a narrative, has a message, has an energy, has an economic component, a fervor for it. That's important. I mean, what did Richard Hart say way back in the day is, I need you to participate if you want to help change the world. And whatever that narrative is, you need to participate. And it's not just economic money, but it's understanding and time. Knowledge is the most expensive token in the world, and time is the only thing you don't get back. If you're not putting your time in to make executive decisions on surgical knowledge, then why are you asking questions? When just ask, where do I learn more about this? That's what I love about games, is the art of play from puppies to primates is how everything works, from human emotion to growth to evolution. Why do prey animals like a deer born and 3 minutes later, 5 minutes later, they can run? Why do big cats and dogs rustle and tussle? Because they were born to hunt. And if they didn't learn to hunt fast, they didn't get to eat because the prey can fucking run. And that's the real right. This is a bonding loop or a reinforcement loop and a balancing loop.
What's up? All right, Max, how you doing, man?
Max, what up, baby?
My man. Hey, Max is the absolute best. When me and him and Gift go on a tirade, he keeps saying he's going to get to the end of his notes in his list. And I don't think we've got there, Max. I'm still challenging because I can still talk. So
we had him on a stream a while back.
Said there, explaining the art of play from just a predator-prey animal can now have invasive species, right? Murder wasps or whatever the big old fuckers are. There's nothing that can have it. Or you can look at something simple like kudzu, like the vines that grow over the bigger trees and nothing gets light, kills everything underneath it. That needs a balancing loop. It needs a predator in there to chip away at the other side. And when people are just looking at mechanics like scalp bots or ARBs, you're missing so much because there's so much more that could be unlocked. How long have you guys been in Hex? Only Pulse, or were you older Hexicans?
Oh no, I've been in Hex since April of 2020.
Sure. So before
I put like $20 in Hex
for $109.
That's not even the important thing. You're thinking about price. You're thinking like a crypto bro. Don't do that. Think like you're a designer. So when Alex wrapped a T-shirt, how monumental was that? That is immutable, unbreakable code that now can travel, now can trade, now can ARB, now can be borrowed against. And that was immutable code by taking a wrapper of what a real NFT is, not dumb monkey pictures, a real wrapper, and encapsulating that immutable code. So those are not tokenomics. It's crypto bros phrasing words. There is no game theory. Like when you get in a plane, your pilot isn't like, we're up to 25,000 feet. I need to pull out my book on my pilot theory. Pilot theory to level 3. I need to land the plane. The most important part, pilot theory on level 3. Right? Like you have experience and you get that through wisdom. So buzzwording around is cool for narrative. Awesome. Rah, rah. I'm all about it because I'm a storyteller. But as the designer side or an architect side, I really want to dig into the nuts and bolts so I can predict not what numbers happen, but what happens over time, right? Don't think in a 5-minute candle, think in a year candle, just in your own life. So if you're looking at a chart for a 5-minute candle on a 5 minute of your life, where are you going to be in a year? Why not spend that 30 minutes to learn something new, to re-web that design together in your head, that it gives you the ability to at least digest some of this stuff. And you should always be learning. So again, the biggest thing with this is understanding the tools, having the excitement, and driving more forward. So one thing I know that we're going to be doing at Gift Tech is doing a lot more community, kind of like fireside chat, getting more to get everything together. It's just dev art team and all of us be busy. Lots of stuff going on. So we haven't really had the time to massage that. But I think having those Twitter spaces, Telegram conversations, all of those things for people to break bread, talk about things, and understand it better is the most important thing. When our mods came up to actually talk, I think it was on Max's stream. It was probably the best stream I've ever been on that I didn't want to say a damn thing because they were explaining it so much better from a different perspective. Right?
Right.
So yeah, if we want to go through all this, it's the exact same flywheel, but each time it compounds on itself as we suss out new processes, ideals, and idioms to move forward with everything. And the PLUSD and the Nope community have really kicked ass and really embraced this kind of stuff. And especially with, again, what happened, the fact that you guys still have what, bloody 3.7% burned, that is bloody ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, no, it shows.
Jackpot, bitch!
Yeah, actually, when Zenith came to see me, I had my soundboard all done, and it was like 30 seconds before we went go, all the mics dropped. And he drove out here 12 hours to come interview me with Will, and we had everything ready to go. Everything broke, and I never got a chance to the soundboard again. But still, look at that. Almost 600 billion burned.
That's good.
That's incredible. It shows you what the tools do if you use it correctly. And now, do you understand like the difference between like arbing in between a perma token and its native token, or what the real value is long tail when you go to the, you have to first start off with the question, how many pieces do you have on the board? What game are you playing? There's a difference between chess and checkers, and that's the pieces. Board's the same, right? So like, what game are you playing? If you have a metric ton of PLUSD, your goal is to get within reach of the 2-to-1 and then just get it more pulse and then shove more PLUSD back into the system. If that's what you're trying to do, that will burn and to get that energy off the street, but it also makes it where you're funding the perma-bull of stable, right? The one that can only do one thing with that economic creation, and that's delete it from the supply. You're helping that, buddy, for all of your community to have that as a super nest egg, because you have both, right? If you're only looking at what the price of PLUSD, the acronyms are just so much crazy these days and keeping them all in your head, of PLUSD, which also goes up reflexively as a ceiling, but then you have the stable, which is a perma token, and God knows what mythical creatures could build on that stuff in the future. It's really an awesome Venn diagram to really like flatten out together.
Now, is this something that can be? Sorry, go ahead, ENJ.
Are we supposed to be arbitrage between the S-Bull and the LUSD?
You can.
You get a little better ratio there?
You can, but if everyone's doing the same thing, what happens to a flock, a herd, all the rest of that? Just like dodos jumping off a bridge, there's nothing wrong with that. You can, but it's just like I was explaining, how many wheels are important? Well, it depends on what you're doing. Are you dragging a sled? One wheel is fucking useless unless you have one of those little wheelie ride things or you got a bike on top. Then we're cooking with gas there, but you can't really do much else besides that with those tools. So you can arb in between based on that price ceiling. But remember, when you create the perma asset, you're now feeding the entire economic machine, the engine that's moving forward. Just trading in between the two, it can technically hurt the system more, not really, because all systems will load balance themselves when they get side heavy. That's why you have ballast in a ship. But this isn't magic when people are just doing the arb. The arbitrage is a feature. The buy and burn of the perma token, that is a feature. It is not a pillar. And so once you understand the pillars of what the tools do, you can, not try to cut a steak with a spoon or drink with a knife. Like the tools have to be used in the correct place and use case of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, because I was in a chat.
Hey, let's just get one thing clear though. Drinking with a knife can be fun. I mean, all sorts of games.
I'm a carny. I do spin fire, so like I can do like all sorts of crazy stuff. So I do agree, but you got to be careful with that.
So this is implemented with LUSD. Is this something that can be this tech can be used with any coin? I take it, or any
absolutely. And like this whole journey was about to build up to Pulsar, and Pulsar is where we're binding two L1s together with coined Titan X back in the day, proof of Ethereum, because it's we can get deeper into that, but remember the real thing about Titan is it's fair launch. If you don't like OAs and you want to experience fair launch, well, there's a problem with that. It's fair, launchable, and mintable, but it's not creatable. There's no economic energy except the gas and the time that you put in. That is important. It's a very good cornerstone to consider in your vocabulary when you're thinking about this stuff. But Titan bound with gift tech to Pulsechain brings that economic energy of Titan or proof of ETH into Pulsechain, with the fees are cheaper, budding community of really, really talented both developers, people, and everything as a whole. And that started this journey. But more things are always being sussed out each time that we move through an iteration. Like one thing gifted on iBurn, the burn routes through all the different pools on Pateus. So that way you get the best order execution for that buy and burn. So that was another feature that we built into that particular mind space. When you're thinking about all these other sub things that are going on at the exact same time, it's really, really fascinating to think where we'll be in a couple months, 6 months, a year. But you have to think about it on that time frame, especially with someone that wants to build in a narrative to remove a ridiculous amount of supply. Well, building a narrative to actually remove the token from existence and getting a token that has possibly features in the future and has economic value because its creation always has an overseer, a permeable that will remove it from existence. It's not circulating supply anymore. You created it, it deletes it.
Very cool.
Damn. Hey guys, not to be rude, but I got to get going because I got some stuff to do today. But Koolaid, it was great to have an extra conversation with you, man. Looking forward to seeing more of you and your work around the space. Let's catch up again shortly, huh?
Definitely.
All right.
Thanks, Tony.
Too easy, boys. Peace.
Hey, do you want to bring anybody else up on the stream? Koolaid? Was anybody else out there?
Mo, I mean, anyone wants to come in, come on in. Drop a streamer link.
Anybody else from your team? I mean.
Oh, well, I mean, like Mo's a mod on the team, very good friend. If Tank wants
Mo,
to come
you want to come on?
Yeah, if Tank wants to come up, I don't think I've talked to him in person. RH Max, clearly.
Right.
There is the one and only Sandlord himself. I don't know if he's still here, but he's always watching me to make sure I'm a good boy.
I'm on headphones right now.
I'm on headphones right
That's
now.
all good. Let's go ahead. We'll give away a lottery ticket real quick.
Yeah.
See how many entries we got.
Hey, get your with 3 S's in there.
Oh, Esmo? Oh, you're doing the word of the week. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we
got 6 entries so far.
No ways. Your giveaways. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. Let's get my soundboard going. All right, guys. Here we go. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? There it's nice. Come on down.
Oh man, we have some people that just consistently win in here, and we want to say thank you for all coming here and showing support. But some people do win a lot more than others because they cheat. They put hashtags on all social media sites to get better chance to win. So it's not cheating.
We got 341 tickets sold so far. 342. And Veritas, yours is on the way.
Straight down the aisle. That's right. That's right.
Let's go. All right, and give away one more. Who's next?
One more.
Who's it gonna be, Ian J?
I'm gonna win it. I'm gonna win it.
Look at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, boy.
Daniel Hobart, come on down.
My dog loves this song. Frankie, love you.
Oh yeah,
Every time he starts
the
howling,
dog's rocking out.
knock it off.
That's hilarious, dude. That's awesome.
Oh man.
All right. There we go. Congrats to the winners today, and welcome
How do
all
you
the
qualify
newcomers
to
to
win?
the
Oh, you
You
just
can wear
have to
lottery
put the
tickets every
hashtag
day
word of the day
on the
in,
stream. Yep.
and then that's it.
Hashtag
Every
word of the
day
day.
at 420, people who haven't been here before, please like, subscribe. Feel free to ask questions and hang out in Telegram chat rooms.
Yep. Yep. Today's magic word was brought to you by the goat. I guess we're still waiting on Koolaid to come back. So.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, Crypto Donald Trump in the his house with another Degen Protocol daily update. Woo! We got the president up in here today, Degens. What's up, Degens? Happy Friday. Good to see you. So basically, today I woke up this morning to a bunch of FUD and a bunch of posts dumping. So I don't know. Apparently, they're trying to call the Tropa Dev a racist or some shit. I don't know. I guess he was dropping the N-bomb, making some Afro jokes or something. So yeah, not much going on in crypto, but in world news, check this out. This is the best we got, I guess. Supreme Court strikes down Trump-era ban on bump stocks for guns. Thoughts? As long as they don't strike down grabbing pussy, I'm good.
I took the drugs and the drugs are working.
I took the drugs and the drugs are working.
Well said, Mr. President.
I took
Go!
the drugs
What's the
and
magic
the
word?
drugs are
The
working.
magic word of the day is
Drugs are working.
grab her by the pussy.
Thank you, goat. Thank you, goat.
Oh man, yeah.
Shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Oh, there he's back.
No, I was
back.
watching on the phone.
He's back for more.
Oh man.
So the drugs are found and the drugs around me, and some more drugs. Donde estás los drogas? I don't know if you watch that old college game.
What is your search?
Where does the drugs go? So where do you guys want to go? I kind of touched on a few points of systemic design, and I think that's
Yeah, go ahead.
well, it's just you guys ask me questions because I can ramble on forever.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just I'm still trying to just wrap my head around it all. It sounds really cool. So basically, like you got the GIF and it's or like it's like paired 1-to-1 with the other coin. Like
Well, it's not 1-to-1. I mean, there's pillars that a community has to go through to even have us consider doing it on this, because we can do it on anything that we want. And in fact, like I said, I've been talking to people for a while. We barely pulled out of first gear. Pulled out of first gear. And as a retired truck driver, I've got 18 gears, man. I haven't even started to play. So, in fact, Gifford always tell me, "No, Larry, no, not now." And I'm like, "Oh, but I want to do it." And
right.
You just have to look at the comparison between two different models, right? GIF only has 1 billion supply ever. And PGIF, correct. And PGIF can only ever have 1 billion supply ever. But it's already had, what did we say, 13 million deleted?
Yeah.
So everything else that builds into this reflexive system also affects the PGIF, right? And so anything that has a perma token, of course, no expectations, what crazy architects and designers may do in an experimental tech that we told you not to buy. You can see we did. It's literally all over the beginning stuff when we started streaming. Be like, this is experimental tech. This isn't fork stuff. This is.
I heard it.
What's up, Dragon Riders?
What's going on?
Good to see you, buddy.
But yeah, this is raw GIF coding in hard hat, straight from scratch, writing stuff on terminal. And then my UI UX guy, him and I worked on a metaverse in Unreal 3. It was even called UDK back then, back in 2012. And we built a real concert experience in real time. And you go to the real Roxy, the real Playhouse, buy a ticket, go to the merch booth. Of course, CEO ran off the money. Again, game dev, not a fun life. Brought to you by Pain. If you understand these simple things that we are building ever encroaching and widening system, that alone, regardless if you're invested, should be exciting, because it's not recycled narrative. It's all brand new. Every time that we do something new, there is an exact point that we are looking to strike, and probably about 4 or 5 others. but that's not really where you're trying to put your groupings, right? I don't shoot guns, but you do group things, and you want to see where that grouping comes together and where it bends and attaches. And the fact that the PLUSD community was just ravenous about this, you see that it works, even with the, again, I didn't look at the number, 1.3 trillion, whatever numbers, math, no. And see how it didn't affect anything at all, right? Yeah, the number would have been a little bit higher because the circulating supply would have been a little bit lower, but you're looking at fractions of a ratio is what, 14 trillion before or something? I wasn't really paying attention. I was working on getting art stuff done.
Thank you, Rover. I appreciate the 10.
Right? The difference is if you're actually a doer or a creator, you don't have the time to be side coach caring, right? You know, like, and that's the whole difference is we want to encourage communities, people, things to work and build together. But when people aren't doing the homework, how am I going to try to explain to you what a smartphone and electricity is when you're over here trying to flick rocks and make fire? Like, I just don't know how to explain that. But you should. And again, I've got the screen up. We'll bring it here.
What's up, Cookies?
I keep buying.
I mean, that's good. Remember, use the tools.
Thank this man for LUSD moving up.
Well, we have a really incredible core group of team, but it is the GIF that is the cornerstone. I salute to you, my liege and good sandworm. But we're a pair. That's for fun, sure.
Thank Will. Thanks for the 20, bro. Appreciate it. Shit. Super chats are flying in today.
What?
Love you guys. Thank you.
So all of these videos, like you're not going to be able to translate and speak like this book right here. Like I read the first one of that in 2006. Guy's a war beast. This one's also really, really good. But when you start to learn this is a fun one where you're looking at tabletop ecology on how it applies from a video game designer's point of view. And when you listen to this, you're like, holy shit, this makes so much sense when you think about crypto and these framing lenses, because you're looking at it outside of Jeet mentality. Because if you use the tools correctly, it will load balance for you, just like ballast in a ship. But Mike Sellers, I'll drop the link in the chat so people can find him. Oh, there you go. Putting feedback loops. This one over here now.
My brain hurts after this stream. Shit.
Oh, come on. I ain't even gotten started. We never even get to the fun shit.
I'm just getting warmed up.
I ain't even gotten started. I haven't even put it out of neutral yet. But like wolves and deer.
Don't even get you started on quantum physics, huh?
I mean, quantum stuff is very interesting because you have to go in two different realms, right? The smaller the particle is, the weirder things work together when you're dealing with quantum type stuff. But you also go larger with mass, you get slower, but with larger mass, now you have the other epoch of that, which is going to be gravity and black holes. So equal ends of the spectrum when you want to go that route. But just listening to this has nothing to do with crypto. But I guarantee you'll understand, at least me, or how these tools work together rather than, I hope I made promises that it will work. Good luck.
Right. That's cool, man. I like it. Discovery never ending. Quantum physics is a great start, though. Yeah.
Hey, Will, can you come up? I'd love to chat with the guy.
Who's that?
Oh, see if Tank Will wants to come up.
Tank Will? Yeah, if you if anybody wants to come up, you can.
I mean, I've been talking to him. Oh no, hold on, we got someone better in here. Jameson.
Damn, he said I got someone better in here. Oh shit.
Well, Jameson's my other partner in crime too. So he speaks very fluently, and he has a very interesting perspective. So Maximus is our Lord of Marketing, and he's fantastic at what he does. But he has a very okay.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come on, there's the stream link.
Yeah. Like I say, we don't charge people to come on here because we just want you to feel free to come on here and tell us what you're building on Pulsechain. That's the only thing we want. We want to see more things being built on Pulsechain, and we try to open doors to everybody.
Yeah, you know
what I mean? We
like what's being done here.
You know.
Well, I mean, that's why, again, looking at pillars, if you are a creator or a builder, I would consider these questions, because if you can't answer them, I think you need to reinvent the stuff again, like in art and video games and all the rest of that, you have to destroy your babies 1,000 times before it comes out exactly what you want. So that means I sometimes have to start completely over scrap it all because something just was off. And I have to repropagate my brain to some completely different that maybe I hadn't explored yet. And when I learn from there, maybe it solves this over here, or it ratifies why I made that decision. So if you're a builder, having a good idea is fantastic, but apply pillars, do things correctly in components. Otherwise, you're also relying on someone else's code that you didn't invent. Yeah, you can read it, but a lot of people, I forget who gave me this quote, but people will say that I speak in cursive. And then at the end of the day, I want to be like, it's not my fault you can't write cursive. So I don't know what to do with that, but it's important to get those perspectives and almost having a peer review with yourself on what your idea is. And I think it's important.
Yeah.
SMO, you want to come up? Don't make call people out.
Anybody?
I'll speak Greek.
Going once, going twice.
Well, what other things do you want to think about? Because there's ways that you can pair this to almost anything. From
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at, because I mean we have a project here on Pulsechain too.
Yeah, you familiar with Goat?
Sure,
Yeah,
before we hop over there, let me give you one other idiom.
Yeah.
What was the first blockchain?
Ethereum? Well, I'm 2016.
Ham radio. Ham radio was the first blockchain of node-based way to communicate over short-range instances and verify that before. What was the first Bitcoin?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Spider, come on up. Come on up.
Come on. What was the first what?
The first Bitcoin.
The first Bitcoin.
Yep.
What do you?
I just asked you a simple question.
What was the first Bitcoin?
Correct. EverQuest gold mining. EverQuest won gold mining. You actually went and mined a digital currency or a digital asset, a digital good, which you sold on the market for real cash. And that was in 96, 97, something like that. So then we take a step further. Hi, it's Mao. If you look at step further, what was the first NFT?
First NFT.
It was a read-write attachment on an email. You sent an email. You put an attachment in there. You put a read-write on it that says, I received this, and it was sent.
Right.
That's a wrapper that has authentication, interoperability, and confirmation. That's an NFT. So, and even the first DEX was the WoW auction house, because it was the first time that you could trade interoperable goods inside a market for a particular currency. And of course, if you think about EverQuest, gold mining was the first Bitcoin. Now, granted, they banned a lot of people for this all the time. People were harvesting that in-game gold for real cash, or spending real cash for in-game gold, and then trading it for weapons on an auction house in World of Warcraft. So again, it comes back to the tools, the systems, and the history on how that gets digested. So, SMO, how are you, love? Good to see you.
You're muted. You're muted, Kelly.
No, I can't hear you.
Oh, you're muted. You got to unmute yourself. There you go. Yeah,
Hi, lovely.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm a gearhead. I'm actually an official gearhead.
You are cool. Definitely adopted and part of the whole tribe. We love you.
That's awesome.
So, let's hop into what you guys were showing for your project.
Basically, I mean, our you might be familiar with the tech in other places, but we got it's basically an up style token where the contract,
I'm a little blind.
Yeah, 5% mint, 5% redeem. And the contract over time, this started at 1-to-1 back in October. Now we're at 1-to-1.4. So, I
remember seeing the GOAT stuff, but I didn't have a chance to look into it at all. But now it makes sense.
So basically, our price of GOAT is 1.4 PLS, and that price only goes up versus Pulse over time.
And that's we have our reflection.
No, well, basically, it's kind of like a reflection, but the reflection just goes to raising the price floor. It just for every mint and redeem 5% of the mint and redeem.
And
Yeah,
I don't want to charge you
goes
for
in
this,
your-
but why don't you have "Doesn't Thou Want to Live Deliciously" under all this goat paraphernalia? Who never watched The Witch? It's a Black Phillip. Why doesn't thou not want to live deliciously? I'll invoice you later. But yeah, framing on that bottom right.
Yeah. So and then we have this native price right here, and we also have the Pulsex pool, which has its own price, which basically, like, since we're paired so heavily, if anybody were to like come in here and dump on this pool right here, the bots immediately buy it up, or vice versa. They just kind of dump it back down into range. So it's almost like it's got kind of like a stable coin kind of tech behind it. And then over time, like I said, we started at 1, and now we're already at this yellow line represents
3%.
where we're at. So I'm wondering, like, long story short, how we could implement Gifford to either maybe help accelerate the burning away of it.
Sure.
But it's elastic supply out the gate. It's an elastic supply because it mints and burns its supply as people come in and out. So
just so I'm understanding it right, do you have a flow graph or anything that I can just visualize real quick without just jumping to assumptions?
What do you mean
A flow graph, the winding wheels like we did with our graphics. So
I think Donnie has something about that.
So from what I quickly understood, because again I haven't looked at it all and put it on the spot, as you use the trading fees or whatever, like a reflection token, it's deleting the supply, but when somebody buys it, it mints it also on the same wedge. So as this ratio goes up, see, there can only be for every goat that's in existence, it has to have the equal amount of PLS behind it at that current ratio. So now we have automatically deletes the supply when it comes out of the pool.
Yeah, exactly. Right now we have 6.4 billion PLS backing all the goat in existence, and that's either if they have it either in the contract or in this liquidity pool out here, wherever it is in existence. It always has PLS
between 3
so basically, as economic energy is added to the pool based on a ticker or a timer, it then inflates the supply to kind of maintain that ratio. And as it does that, price reflexively goes down, right?
The price versus pulse always goes up. So whether people come in and they dump a bunch or they buy a bunch, it just goes up. So someday we'll be, for everybody who got in October, one day we'll be at 2 PLS per, and then they'll be able to cash out twice as much as they started with. So it's kind of like single asset staking, long-term kind of, delayed gratification, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
It's pretty cool.
I've got a term for that in our stuff. It's called liquid reverse staking. Because if you're a founder, you use the tools correctly, you can push the value up and remove and build yourself into the user of tool that does things the right way. Kind of like you turn your field to grow different type of crops. You move your cattle when you need to do it. You're actually making rotations of particular things that you're using to bring it all together. Now, with liquid reverse staking, there's no protection from yourself to lock yourself out, right? It's fully decentralized, no founder buckets, no funding, none of that stuff. So if you G'd out and something reflexively happens, it is not our problem. What it seems with what you guys have is you have a condensed liquid ceiling price that's based on the amount of liquidity that goes into that particular aspect. Now, yes, you can apply the other pillars that we have to anything that you would have. So if you want to have it at your original token, we'd actually have to sit and suss some stuff out. I'm more spatial rather than looking at a chart, right?
We can get together and chop it up sometime. That'd be cool, man.
Sure.
Hey, but, show the validators. Show more validators.
Oh yeah, we got that too.
No,
I was gonna get to
we're a one-stop shop over here, baby. How many validator nodes we have? How many full nodes we have up now?
Yeah, we also you're familiar with David Feeder, right? So
I know him exceptionally well. I'm a quarter million student-owned debt holder, and when he got his paid off, I cried as much as he did.
Okay, yeah. Well, these are our validator NFTs. This basically, you come in here, you mint, you can get a fractionalized, portion of an NFT. Or sorry, a portion of a validator. So
you're basically Watsing out a validator into one NFT that has a particular amount of use case based on the economic energy that it holds in the server and the pulse that goes in.
Yeah, and each day David Feeder pays out the rewards of all the. We have like 43 validators in here, and it gets split up between all all the people that have their NFT in their
And
wallet.
so all of those validators, the fees that come in off the validators go back into your liquidity pool that has another side over there, right? Or it's probably proportioned out to the NFT.
It just all goes out to the NFT holders.
Okay.
Yeah, in
There's,
GOAT though. In GOAT.
There's a little bit that goes. Yeah, it's paid in GOAT tokens, so it goes back through our little mint function here that we have. So it would go through and it mints the GOAT and it pays them out GOAT as the payout, which they can immediately redeem for PLS.
So your ideal solution then would be to remove GOAT from the situation to then have something that feeds something else. And yeah, it'd be something we can definitely chit chat about. But I think just like thinking about what I said about the whole process is more elevating to how thinking about these things instead of just wrapping a magic wand that says you shall be deleted. Because your token's destructible too, right? Because it can be minted and deleted, right?
Yeah. The contract mints and deletes itself. But
Sure.
we don't have any like burn function built in. That's what I'm saying. Like gift tech comes up as like maybe like a burn function we can add on the side or something. I don't know.
There's all sorts of stuff that you can do, and that's why like we're not rushing to build on things. When we build something, there is a reason that we are building it, and we'll take a poll. Just like the LUSD community was ravenous to get in, and they were serious about it, and they are doing burn parties and all the rest of that type of stuff. Yeah, we heavily looked at it because, like Richard said, I need your participation to change over the world. And if nobody shows up, nothing ever happens.
Exactly.
Yep.
Love it. Hell yeah, man.
I'm telling you, doesn't thou want to live deliciously? If you've never seen The Witch, Black Phillip is right up your alley.
That's cool, man. Like, what's it called? Black Phillip?
No, Black Phillip is basically Satan in the Witch in like 1980 or 1890s or 1700s. And, it's a good horror movie that you got to watch out for the black goat.
Right on, man.
Like I said, if you look at our NFT stuff, they're pretty dark and almost demonic, and they say,
No, I saw it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're goats around here, baby.
No, I figured that's why I was just curious. Why didn't you get that visceral thing on top? Because like for me, I like things that are visceral. It doesn't have to be horror, but you can't get the taste out of your mouth, like Vanilla Sky.
Right.
You're dead half the movie and you don't know it. Just because you're rich, now you realize you're stuck in a box. Like you are the cat of Schrodinger.
Oh man, that's great. Well, it's been great having you on, man. We gotta get together sometime with our developer and have a big brain conversation with you.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was going to ask SMO if she had anything that she wants to chat about or all the rest. Thank you for coming up.
Yeah, you got anything? Anything else?
I've always been saying is that we're living in a cube within a cube within a cube, and it just
Russian nesting dolls.
Yeah, exactly. Those
exactly.
Cells within cells within cells interlinked.
Loops within loops within loops.
You should have come up, buddy. Oh, he only popped out for a second. He just teleported a while ago.
Yeah, that was earlier, but yeah. No, sounds good, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad we had this get together. I love networking with the different communities and different people out there. Great to finally meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
100. I mean, the biggest thing that we're trying to do is bring communities together with passion, with knowledge, with respect, prosperity. When we each one teaches one, and the world burns bright. It's not about a 5-minute candle. It's the journey, and we want to bring more communities, more excitement, and bring where we all bloody were 4 years ago. The reason why Hex actually took off was a perfect storm of COVID. Everyone was stuck inside their house, couldn't go nowhere. I'm trained on a red camera, but everyone else didn't even know how to turn on a webcam. So like everyone learned, and they had the time to learn, and to build that perfect sense of camaraderie in that isolation time. Now things have fractured, like families move on, relationships move on, and we want to try to bring all that back together with new thoughts, new people, new energy, and all the other things. We got stuff going on at fanforge.xyz where we're binding the entertainment industry to Pulsechain. Paul Lamone, cinematic finisher for Blizzard, 26 years, created Tyrael from Diablo 1. He's one of our core members. And we got all sorts of stuff. So again, that's fanforge.xyz. And our merry band of misfits really want to change the world in so many different ways. And
keep crushing it, bro. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, if you want to live in the future, you got to create it. So happy to come on more with you guys. and
Hell yeah.
definitely have a good chit chat.
Hell yeah. Well, let's wrap it up then. Thank you so much, Kellyanne, Ian J, everybody who came today. Thank you for the subs and thank you for the super chats. And let's get those gains on the Pulse channel.
What's up, OG Hector Games? It's Blacksheep and I'm back again. I've come to rock you back and forth and up and down and out the door for sure. I'm chilling with the Degen Protocol. We come to represent and we don't give a shit, cause we're fucking rich on the Pulsechain. And now we're stacking up our gains on the Pulsechain. We got the hookers and cocaines on the Pulsechain. You know we don't give a shit, in the words of Nagaboo. Jackpot, bitch! Richard Hart is such a pimp, I just wanna be like him. Give me some hotties and a Rolex Calamari and a super hot Ferrari. I'm sorry if I'm a little offensive, but Pulsechain coming through and gonna make us rich on the Pulsechain. And now we're stacking up our gains on the Pulsechain. We got the hookers and cocaines on the Pulsechain. You know we don't give a shit, in the words of Nagaboo. Jackpot, bitch! On the Pulsechain. And now we're stacking up our gains on the Pulsechain. We got the hookers and cocaines on the Pulsechain. You know we don't give a shit, in the words of Nagaboo. Jackpot, bitch!
That's the black sheep token. That's the token I care the least about.